Okay, we got a small cylinder here with a different style head where it's got a snap ring keeper in it. I'm going to just show that, how we get it apart. Now the first thing I did is I pushed this rod out to check it, to make sure there's no nicks on it. Make sure it's worth fixing. This rod's really clean. Okay, so we pushed that out and got the oil. So now you're going to use this. It's a snap-on or Blue Point type of a snap ring plier. Okay, so you're going to take this one here, spread it open, pull that off. Okay, that's what it looks like. That keeps the head from going in. Then you're going to take a brass punch and you're going to knock the head back. Okay, you don't want to hit the rod and ding it up, and so that's why we use a brass. But be careful when you're doing this. Sometimes these things are hard. They don't want to move. I've seen guys hit these, and then hammer will slide off, and then it whacks the rod and dings it. Okay, you don't want to do that. You can tell it's really hard. It's going to take a little bit here to get this thing knocked in. Try a little heavier hammer here. Okay, you just, like I said, you got to be careful when you're doing this. Should lock that down. It doesn't want to. It's moving a little bit. And what that's from is it's just probably never been taken apart. It's all corroded in there. You got to get it back. This thing's slipping on me. There we go. Okay. Okay, you see it's all corroded in there. So I'm going to try to clean that out. Let's see here. So this can be a pain in the butt. You got to clean this out. It's all grimy in there, caked on with stuff. Okay, there's a little groove in there. We're going to use a John Deere seal removal tool. Stick it in here. And try to clean this out though, because it makes it easier when it comes out. Because it's kind of rusty and stuff in there. I don't like these type cylinders, but so you get a few of these in. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. Okay. So what I have here is this, you can see this box called John Deere Seal Tools. Now we're not going to have the right one. This one might do it. Let's see. Okay, you can see it's a special piece of plastic. It's beveled. Okay, this one's been used before, but this might fit in there. Let's take a look. Okay, it does fit in there. But you got to get it in there. If you don't get it flat, what happens is it'll hang up. There's a lot of grime in here. You want that to be, see that? You don't get that out because the head, it has to overcome, that head has to go around it. A lot of times it'll cut it if you don't get it down in there. So you want to get all that out. You saw how hard it was to knock the head back in, so it's going to give us a little problem. Quite sure of that. So I'm going to put that in there. These things only go one way. Now I'm going to try something. This may or may not work. Okay, I'm going to put a lot of grease in here. Okay, we're going to put a lot of grease up in here. Make sure we... There's several ways you could do this. Sometimes I have to put them on the test bench to break them out, because this, doing it the way I'm going to show you here, sometimes works. But this one's pretty corroded. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. If that doesn't work, there's several other ones. You know, we got to see if it cuts that seal. Then we can either use a winch to pull this out on the table. I have a winch set up, or I'm going to have to take it over to the test bench and knock it out. But I'm going to try air. Now, when you're using air, you want to be real careful. I don't recommend it because it could be dangerous. So you have to understand what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to put air on this side of the cylinder and then try to blow the head out that way. It's not going to shoot the rod out. Okay, you have to understand that I've seen guys shoot rods across the shop and go through walls before because they don't understand it. That's why normally I don't let them use air on it. I'll make them do it on the bench just for safety reasons. But I'm going to do this in it because I'm in here by myself and show you what I got going here. So put this, okay, now let me see how this looks here. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try to see if it'll pop it out. Now I'll give it a blast there and all of a sudden it'll pop that head out. If it overcomes that seal, it may not. I feel it feels like it's sticking up in there. Okay, but without this little tool, so watch yourself here. Watch this. I'm going to always safety glasses on too. Okay. Okay, what's happening? This is what's happening. I push the head so far back that it can't get the air in there. Okay, you can see that the head's right over the port, so it won't go in. Okay, and I tell you it's tight. So that's pretty much not going to work. Okay, let's try it another way. That's not going to work. I don't like that. The head's pushed back in there. I might have to go to the test bench to get it off. That's why these things are a pain in the butt. That's why we're showing this to you. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to try something here. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this like this. Okay, then I'm going to get a winch that I have set up here. Okay, I'll kind of show you. I got to move this out of the way. I'm going to try putting a winch on this thing. I have these little sockets for these little winches, little 120 volt winches here. Show you what it looks like. I can move these around on these tables. This is what it looks like here. See the socket here, but I'm going to put it on the end. Okay, these are on all the corners of each of these tables. So should kind of show you. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, we're going to plug this in. This may not do it, but we're going to see. Sometimes it does. Okay, I'm going to try to put a chain on this. Problem is, I need a small chain. Yep, that's too big. Let me grab something here to try to get in there so I can grab it. You want to be careful when you're doing this too, because the chain could break and cable snap. You don't want to overdo it. So what I got here is a little chain put through here. You see how this looks here. Let me get this out of the way. So you can see here how my winch is on this table. All right, and then there's the cylinder. Okay, so I'll put this in here. Always wear your safety glasses, especially when you're doing this. Okay, I'm going to hook this on here, lock my winch. Let's see what happens here. Okay, it's starting to pull it. I think it overcame that seal. Well, it cut it a little bit. Let's see if I can get it out. Well, it's going to pull this thing out. You don't want to collapse this barrel either. So that's why I think we're going to have to go to the bench here. See, it's just pulling it out. Okay, that's not going to work. All right. I already see what's happened here. Okay. I'm probably going to have to do this in 2 videos to show you what I'm going to have to do here. Here's a problem. Now what I'm going to have to do is knock this back in. And what it's already starting to do is it's cut the seal already. That's why I use this little spotlight thing here. Okay. Go back and show you this seal that it's already torn it up some. But what I'm going to have to do now is I need to get the head out and file down the edge so it can overcome this. It's going to be a pain in the butt to do it. Yeah, see, just what I need to do is knock the head back out. If I can show you this, what the problem is. The head will not overcome. It's trying to cut this thing and push it out because it's so tight in there. When the head's coming out, it won't go past this, and it usually cuts these. I can show you some in here that it's done that too. Let's see if there's one in here. Usually I throw them away after they get cut. Now I don't really have one in here, but they chew these up. And this thing's in there tight, so